Welcome to another edition of Rock Show Critiques in Conversation. Today, we have an extra special guest. I haven't talked to this guy in like 10 years, believe it or not. Here he is, Mr. Austin John Winkler. Welcome.
How's it going? How's it going, my man?
It's going pretty good up here. We're up here in
Good.
Buffalo.
Nice.
So, a little cold, some snow, that good stuff.
Absolutely.
That time of the year, unfortunately.
Right.
So, you got some new music out here. Tell us about the new music and everything.
Yeah, man. I just dropped my first single in about I think 6 years. I think it's been hell, maybe seven. But yeah, it's a song called "Super Jaded," and it kind of walked me through my hell and kind of guided me out of a very dark place that I was in. And we can get into that, of course, but that's the single that's out now, and it seems to be resonating with people. We've been getting a pretty overwhelming response, so it's good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great to hear the new music from you after such a long period of time here.
Yeah.
So what's the plan on the music going forward? Is this going to be eventually a part of an album? Are you working on just songs right now? Do you have a plan here?
Well, it's kind of cool to not really have a set plan. I definitely have an album, and there is an album attached to this that is coming. I'm just getting back into the swing of things, and hopefully there'll be a tour to accompany this album at the end of the summer. Hopefully, something like that.
All right, now since you're talking about the album, what can you tell us about the music? Is it going to be similar to the type of stuff we've seen on your EP, the album, Love Sick
Love Sick
Radio?
Radio. Yeah, it's definitely not. It's definitely going back to my roots, a lot more rock, a lot more kind of in your face rawness, kind of going back to my thing. So it feels good. I ventured out with that EP, and I was still heavily using then too. So this record is going to be a lot more of what I think my fans are going to be into, I think.
Okay. So for the people who haven't really been around much, what can you fill us in on where you've been up to the last 8 years or so
Yeah. Well,
after you left Hinder and everything?
yeah. Well, after I left Tinder, like I said, I put out that Love Sick Radio EP. That was short lived. I toured on it in 2016 and 2017, and then early in 2019, I checked into a hospital that I didn't leave for 3 months. Spent 24 days in the ICU. I was diagnosed with liver and kidney failure at the same time.
Wow.
So I had to jump on dialysis for 2019 and a part of 2020. And to be honest, that's very depressing. And I didn't think that I would ever go into the studio again. I didn't. I had accepted the fact that this was my life now. I'm on dialysis, and this is it. But I was able to write somehow. I was still able to write through being on dialysis, and that's where when Super Jaded kind of was born. And I was still on dialysis. I was still on dialysis when I flew to Nashville actually to sing and lay down the Super Jaded single that's out now. So it was pretty. I don't know. Even telling the story to people, it's still kind of surreal that it happened. But I had to relearn how to walk again. I pretty much had to relearn how to do everything again. So it's been a pretty crazy ride to get back to the position where I'm making music again.
Yeah, that's for sure. So when you made this EP, the Lovesick Radio, obviously
Mhm.
it came out and it didn't seem like a lot of people weren't aware of it. Now, are you going to be possibly And I noticed that, there's a lot of good songs on there, believe it or not, that people really need to hear, and
I
it's
appreciate
it's
it.
like they don't, a lot of people aren't familiar with it. But how did you come about for that, gearing towards that type of sound for yourself at that point in time?
For the Lovesick Radio,
Yeah.
that was just years of me beating down the rock door, and I wanted to kind of venture out and just do a little something different. And it's just, as an artist, you got to get that stuff out of your system. And I'm not saying that those songs are bad or by any means, but they don't have the heart and emotion that Super Jaded does, or that anything that's going to come follow Super Jaded, like the rest of the record that I've been working on. So it just doesn't have that. I didn't have that. I don't want to say spark, but I didn't have what I have now, which is determination and drive and hunger again, which I lost for a long time. And I fell out of love with music after Lovesick Radio, to be honest, for a couple of years.
So what kind of got you back into the music part of it?
Well, I mean, I had to stop doing drugs and drinking and get myself healthy in order to put myself in a position that I could even write a song again. I mean, that's what I had to do with with all my older stuff. I was always, kind of using and masking, what it is that I'm feeling. And now I don't write like that anymore. I write, I lay everything out on the line, and secrets keep me sick. And I definitely feel very cathartic writing now, getting some stuff out and stuff. Really, really healing.
Now you did some demos that kind of popped up here and there, and you did a few songs that were never released as official recordings, such as "Phone Line to Heaven." Is that stuff that we might see you revisit down the road and record as an official song?
Yeah, absolutely. Those little demos and stuff that I hinted at, you don't be surprised if you see them showing up on this record.
Okay. Now you guys, obviously, I love talking about great songs, and
Mm.
it seems like every artist always has some songs that just never, got as big as they should have for whatever
Yeah.
reason. And
Mhm.
here's two of them I want to bring up to you here and
Okay.
get your take on them. One is "The Life," obviously off of the
Hmm.
All American Nightmare, and
Right.
"Everybody's Wrong," which really had hit all over it. I'm not sure why that was never released as a single or anything like that. What can you tell us about those two songs?
Out of those two, I think The Life definitely probably would have had the better chance of making some noise. That was, a really solid track about, the life not really turning out the way you expect it to be. I mean, once you get out there in the real world and in the jungle, stuff gets hard. And I was feeling that really needed to kind of explore that subject, and The Life came out of it. And I still love that song. That's a great song.
Oh, it is. And what about "Everybody's Wrong"? How did you feel about that song?
Yeah, Everybody Was Wrong is it's definitely one of those songs that man, even writing it, I was really, really frustrated with the situation I was in, subject matter included being, you know, I mean, and that can go with any relationship. It doesn't even have to be with your significant other. Like, sometimes you bite your tongue in order to, be the bigger person, and thinking that, you're in the relationship, and maybe all your friends sees the relationship this way, and it's all one-sided. But at the end of the day, the real truth, and everybody can be wrong, and sometimes you just have to write about it instead of having the conversation. Laying everything on the line with your significant other. So
Now, were there any songs that you thought would have kind of been a lot bigger than what they were that you recorded? Were there any that you really were surprised that they just didn't do?
oh oh yeah, I mean, I thought and it could have been like there's a couple of single, like, I mean, on Take It to the Limit, there's a song called Thing for You that I thought should have been the second single, is what I think. But when you got so many players in hand, sometimes it just doesn't fall, the chips don't fall that way. But that's one that I think that, probably should have been bigger than it was, but that's kind of all I got, man.
Now, out of all the albums that you recorded, which one do you feel is the best representation of your voice and style of music and everything? Which one do you like the best?
Mm, that's hard, man, because I always want to go back to the big one, Extreme Behavior, simply because I want to go back to that one because I think it was like it was before there got too many hands in the pie. Before too many hands got in the pie. I mean, we were just a baby band, but I say that record is the most real record I've ever written because there wasn't so much outside influence, because it was just me young and writing from my past relationship experiences, which is what I've learned that I do best. And I think, obviously, I think that is my best body of work to date. But the way I'm singing now and the stuff that I've been coming up with lately is it's kind of reminiscent of the old stuff like that. So I'm excited for people to get a taste of it.
Oh yeah, we can't wait for it. Do you have
Mhm.
any rough idea when we might be seeing an album?
I'm thinking I'm gonna release another single, and I'll probably have the album ready to go May, June-ish. I'll
Not
probably
too
release
far
another
away.
single. Not too far away. Not too far away. So.
All right. Now the one album that I thought that I feel that is overall your best, I actually like All American Nightmare because I
Yeah.
feel it's got the heaviness and then it's got the nice stuff like the life and
Mhm.
what you're gonna do and it seems like that one to me you guys really did a fantastic job on and unfortunately it just seems like at that point, with the record business the way it is, everything kind of you just didn't get the proper promotion behind it probably to help push it over the edge.
Yeah, I mean, and that happens. That happens in this business. This business is a roller coaster, man. You got to hang on for the ride and see if you can make it to the end.
Now you guys did a lot of touring in the beginning, the probably like the first 4 or 5 years of the band.
Mhm.
How do you, did you feel like you guys got overbooked over too much touring? Did that kind of do you guys a little bit of injustice there?
I mean, I'm sure there's definitely some wear and tear was the result of a lot. I mean, a lot of shows and a lot of days off consisting of 3 radio shows. And like the days off weren't days off, and you just didn't. When you get to that level and you know it's all happening, it's hard to say no, but I think going back, I mean, I think it's probably necessary to some points, to not say yes to every single thing that comes across your path, especially as a baby band. I mean, and then you get used to just saying yes to everything, and that's gonna wear anybody down, especially young 20-year-old kids.
Now, going forward, you said you're going to try to hopefully get a tour going here. Do you plan on doing less states and a shorter, so you're not out on the road overdoing it as much now that you're going to probably have a little bit more control of it and everything?
I'll definitely keep my health in mind when booking it. I'll keep that a lot more close to my hip than the last, just of saying yes to everything, like we said. So, I think that I think I won't know until I get out there. I think it'll be just kind of like a fly by the seat of my pants thing once it starts going, and I'll definitely have to keep my health in mind when I'm not going to do 60 in a row anymore.
Now, you guys opened for a lot of people, played a lot of shows with probably some of your artists that you looked up to, you know, your role models and stuff like that.
Mhm.
I actually saw you guys open for Aerosmith once, back in
Oh,
Detroit, back in like I think it was like '06, '07, somewhere around there.
yeah, late
What?
'06.
Yeah. What was it like opening for
Man,
Aerosmith?
it's just one of those crazy surreal moments. Like everything kind of fell into place. I mean, that's one of my favorite bands. That's what kind of got me into music anyway was that band, and to share the stage with them is something that's indescribable, you know, especially when that's your goal. And you know, you look up to these guys for years and watch them on MTV growing up, and it's just like, and then you're shooting the shit, talking set list with them. Like it's wild. It's wild stuff. It's unbelievable. I'm very lucky.
Were there any other bands that come to mind that you got in that same predicament where you had got to open for somebody you never would have thought would ever happen?
Oh yeah, I mean there was, you know, the big festivals um, over in Europe, numerous bands on those bills, man. Lincoln Park, Muse, like big bands. I mean, granted, we're going on at noon and they're on at 9, but hey, it still counts, right? You know, it's still, you're still sharing the stage. So I mean, those are big bands, and bands that we toured with. That, you know, Papa Roach is a band that I've always looked up to. We toured with them, and you know, I still look up to those guys. They're great band.
Did you notice much of a difference in the crowds from overseas crowds as opposed to the American crowds?
You know, it's just with big festivals like that. You know, I mean, it's 100,000 as opposed to, like, you know, what do we do here for big rock concerts? Maybe 40, like 40, maybe 40,000 here.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the difference, is they love the rock over there, man. And we do here. It's just, it's a different level.
That's for sure. Do you have anything else you want to share or pass along to anybody before I let you go here?
No, just to the fans, man. Thanks for their support, and I'm coming for you guys. We're gonna throw a party pretty soon, so they should be ready.
All right, very good. Well, it was great having you on, and best of luck
Absolutely.
going forward. All
All
right.
right. Thank you
Good.
so much, man.
Yep. Good luck with everything.
Thank you. Good to see you.
All right. Take care.
Bye bye.